Hey everybody, today I am mending a dog bit quilt. So my cousin, I made this quilt for her last year maybe, and not long after that her dog chewed a hole in it. Like there is a hole through and through, and so I have never mended anything like this before, but I did speak to my community, the quilting community, and got some tips and tricks. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trim this up very neatly. So of course this is the part where my camera flipped out. I don't know what happened, but as I was explaining, what I'm going to do is trim around the chewed area, put a patch on the back with some batting on it, make a patch for the front, and then sew them on, and that's all basically I'm gonna do. As you will see throughout this video, it was not that easy. I did have some ups and downs, but all in all, I think it turned out great. So I am going to start on the back, and fortunately I do still have some of this. Oh, here it is. I do still have some of this fabric. So I've got the matching fabric. I'm going to trim it up. Maybe, I wonder, and just make an oval around it, get it cleaned up, cutting off as little as possible. Someone also suggested that I sew like a zigzag stitch around it so that it doesn't come undone. So I will do that. Okay, so I have a good clean circle-ish oval. I have sewn a zigzag stitch around the edges. Now I'm just going to cut a piece of batting. Okay, so I don't know what happened, but I have lost some of my recording. I'm not sure what yet, but so I have the patch with the batting on it. I have used Misty Fuse to attach this batting to the backing. Also, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but there's Misty Fuse around here. So when I put this down and iron it, it'll be in place. And then once that's in place, I'll take care of the front, tack that in place again, and then we will worry about this quilting to kind of give it that seamless look so that you can't tell where the patch is, or you have to look pretty close to find the patch anyway. So I'm going to go iron that in place. Okay, so I've got the back patch secured. It is secured using a fusible webbing. It is in place. It is not going anywhere. And this is what it looks like from the front. So I am going to create a patch now with this fabric. I'm going to create a patch with this triangle here, this triangle here, and another one there. So there's 1, 2, 3 of the wedges that are involved. So I have pulled together this fabric, which is the wedge here. I don't have this red and white polka dot, and so in lieu of that red and white polka dot, I've got this, and then this top one is here. So this is the section that's missing. Now there's also a little bit of this fabric, which I actually have handy. So I do need to make it a little bit bigger just for this corner. This is the original wedge. And now these pieces are not complete, but I don't need the whole wedge. So I'm just going to cut that. I do need 2 of these in this flavor. This one's a little bit bigger. And now I have cut these opposite because one of them, this side is going to be sliced off, and on this one this side is going to be sliced off, so those will work. And actually I don't remember on this one which side I will need, but I do have one of each, so let's go check and see which side I need. So I'm going to need this side of the wedge, so actually this one is almost complete. So that works. So looking at the pattern, I'm going to need this piece together with this piece. So I will sew these. And of course, the feed dog ate them because that always happens. Fortunately, I have another one. This time I will use a little bit more caution. Let's see how it went. Oh, I'm gonna have to figure it out. Again, I might have to cut another one of these. So I've got a patch made that will, oh no, I put it upside down. Oh no, that's right. I just used the wrong fabric right here. That's okay, I only need that little corner. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure this out. I'm gonna cut this edge off, I'm gonna cut it here, and I'm gonna make the patch only big enough to cover this. I'm not gonna try to recreate the whole thing. And again, this little piece, I'm only going to need a tiny little bit of it, and the angle is wrong, but I just really need this corner, so I'm not too worried about it. So actually what I may do, instead of cutting it, I'm going to do a 1/4 inch seam around it, and that'll cut off what I don't want, and that'll make that come together. So I'm gonna, and this is on the bias, I can see it stretch. I'm gonna turn in a 1/4 inch seam everywhere around just to see where that gets me. And that should, and then I'm gonna cut some of this off too, because I don't want all of that. I just want the little bit right here that shows. So as I'm making the patch to go over the red section on the front of the quilt, I put these colors backwards, and I didn't think it mattered, but it turns out it does matter. It makes it much more obvious that there's a patch there because I have the wrong fabric. And so I'm, got my favorite toy, the seam ripper, out, and I'm going to remake this patch, or that section of it at least. So I made it a little bit smaller. I'm trying to avoid too many overlapping seams because it's going to get really thick right there if I keep adding all these double seams. It will be kind of obvious that there's a patch there, but hopefully not too bad. So what I need to do now is add these three. I'm going to add this corner right here, which basically calls for these 3 fabrics. And I'm pretty sure I know I have these 2 because that's the one I screwed up here, that I got them in the wrong. It should have been like this. I guess I could still use this one. And then I need to put this small polka dot at the bottom. I only need a tiny little corner of it, but I may use this red. If I can't, because I'm not sure if I have that tiny little piece left or not. But anyway, so let's see what happens here. Okay, so I have this piece here, this triangle here, and then this one here in these 2 colors, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do I need to make this happen? And so what I'm seeing here is that if I cut it using the original template with the seam allowance, all I need to do is make sure that the center line from this template is on the center line of these two fabrics, and I'm good to go. So I'm going to cut that. Okay, so this is the corner that I'm missing here. I've got this corner here, so I've actually got to sew this here and then this to that one. I might just start over. I'm going to completely start over, and I'm actually going to cut all 6 of these triangles, and I'm going to make this big 6 patch. So after completely restarting everything, I've decided this is the corner I need. Now I only need like barely anything out of these. This is the bulk of what I need, but I'm going to go ahead and make this whole section using these bits. Instead of finding full pieces, I still have this fabric, so I was able to find these 2 fabrics here, the polka dot and the red, or fabrics that I don't have anymore. So I'm just going to fill in the hues are the same, and so I'm hoping it just kind of blends. And so I'm going to sew all of these pieces together, and this will be my patch for the top part of the quilt. So let's get sewing. After some trial and error, I did make a patch that for the most part matches. I've got all of the parts covered. It does go over a little bit here, so I'm gonna have to shorten it. But so I'm gonna sew this on. Now I've got some red thread on the top and blue on the bottom, so when I sew this patch on, it's also gonna secure the back patch. Not perfect, but it's definitely blending in. I have the stickiness on the back here. I am using, again, the fusible webbing, and I'm going to put that where my patch goes, and it is covering the entire hole, plus some, so that when I sew over it, everything will be covered. So first I'm going to iron it down. This will attach the patch to the quilt. Now it is very bulky, and there's probably a better way that I could have done this, but I don't want it to fray. I want to make sure that when it's down permanently. I sewed the patch all the way around it, and then I sewed through it as well, just to get a little bit more stability. So let's see what the back looks like. So it needs a little bit of cleaning up. Some of those red threads came through from the top, but overall looks pretty good. So some of these threads came through from the top, but I backstitched, so I'm just going to clip those, the red ones. And they are going to go away. So I'm going to reverse the thread that I have on the machine. I'm going to put the blue at the top and the red at the bottom, and then I'm just going to go over this as well, this patch, so that it is tight. I debated whether I wanted to do the stitching over it in white. I'm not good at free motion, and I don't know that it needs it. I think I'm just going to put the patches down really well and call it a day and call it fixed, because I really don't want to do white threads over it. And you know, because here, like, I've done a really good job at hiding it. Like, the patch really you can't see unless you know it's there and you're looking for it. So I really don't want to go over it and mess something up with white thread. I'm just not that confident in my skills. Okay, so I have reversed the threads. I've got blue at the top and red in the bobbin, and I'm going to sew the top patch, I'm sorry, the blue patch on the back of the quilt on all the way around, because the shape is different than the one on the front, and so I want to make sure that it is sewn down properly all the way around. I do not want it coming off. Let's see, make sure the front is all good, and that is it, guys. You can see the square, kind of. Oh, I didn't even think that it might go into the white. Whoo, it didn't. Oh, look, there it is. All along here. A little bit into the blue, but you can't see that. Good job. I totally forgot the white was so close. But y'all, what a great patch. That was fun. As you can see, I am so excited with how it turned out. You really can't see it. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it or not. Well, initially I was like, of course I can do that. And then when it came down to it, I was like, ooh, I hope I can do it, because I promised I could. And I think it looks great. I'm glad I had most of the fabric. And thanks for watching. Much appreciated. If you haven't already subscribed, if you're still watching the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you're available the second Tuesday of every month, join us for T-shirt Quilt Tuesday, where we talk about all things T-shirt quilt. And also every Wednesday, join me and Mom live on Cheeky Quilts Live. Thank you.